It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Well, guys, they finally did it. Castlevania Nocturne has officially gone from a show that was shit to actually the shit. See, Season 1 wasn't the worst, but you kind of felt obligated to be nice to it because it had some good elements. And while those good elements were great with symbolism and concepts story-wise, there was a lot left to be desired. Now, at the time, I could only partially verbalize why Season 1 sucked so much. But after watching Season 2, I can safely say it was because it just didn't have a clear goal. And without that goal, characters kinda got all cranky. And so did I. And so did all the other fans. See, the plot for Season 1 was just, we should try to stop the vampire messiah, but let's find an excuse to not do it. Erzsébet, the main antagonist, doesn't show up until episode 6, meaning for 5 episodes, the characters were just jerking around, waxing poetic, waiting for the plot to kick in. Thus, we only had time for lore building and finding out the church were the bad guys, which I can safely say were the most boring elements in Season 1. And these boring elements made characters kinda act like assholes. This is where folks famously point to Annette being a jerk to Richter, and how Richter just kept picking on an old man for having depression and PTSD, which just made the story slow and unenjoyable. But Season 2 actually brings the fun back into this buff guy beats vampires show. Right off the bat, Episode 1 gave us a direct and clear goal. Go to Paris and kill a mummy. This plot makes things so refreshing as it puts characters in pairings that actually make them interesting and compatible, more so than snarky and dismissive, except for Edgelord Maria, which was fucking rad. For instance, Just went from a passive old man who didn't want to bother with Richter to actually being a person who gave a shit about Maria and her emotional isolation, making him way more tolerable than he was in the last season. And the series' tone is also way more tolerable, because it stopped being a show about the political waning and socioeconomic struggles of ideals and, no. It finally just embraced that it's an anime, an American anime. Now, I want to save a lot of this for the review, but this season entered my prayers by giving Richter actual shit to do. For too long, this boy has just been the background character in his own fucking show. And now here he is, the buff guy in a buff guy beats vampires anime. And my God, he is glorious. Despite his flaws not being washed away, he's actually fun to be around. Especially since last season when he only got like 5 minutes of screen time, and most of it was just him being this whipped, mopey puppy. Look, we left a depressed, quiet Belmont in the last series. Give us some charisma-filled ones now. Also, I can say this safely, Annette X Richter actually works well here too, as they have a really good chemistry, guys. We can stop hating her being a jerk in Season 1. We can like them now. Overall, Castlevania Season 2 made the impossible happen by making Season 1 look like trash in the light of its superior successor. Who knew a sequel could be better than the first? 10 out of 10, go watch some buff guys fight vampires and join the hype. Also, about Emmanuel.
Love that chicken from Popeye.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about this.